Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's Pro Street Stock Series sponsored by East Action Sports. Today, the professional street stock drivers find themselves at the Dirt Virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is going to be quite the night here. No fast repairs, unlimited tires for this one since it is a dirt track, and I don't think tire wear is really going to matter for these guys. And a whole lot of action as we are finishing up single car qualifying. As always, I'd like to thank everybody across the world tuning in, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. We couldn't do it without you guys. And we're looking forward to another exciting evening here at the Coliseum. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East in the booth, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second as we get ready for another great race here today, as we're going to line them up on grid row and get ready to get this party started. The track condition did carry over today, so it's going to be interesting to see how drivers are able to navigate this slick raceway as we get ready to take it to tonight's grid. Starting on pole. Starting on pole, Jordan Babbinger, the number 48 machine, with Jonathan Bronson starting second. Mason Foster, the number 17, starting third. Jacob Feskinen starting fourth. James Silvers, the number 21 machine, starting fifth on track. Craig Smith in the number 99, a fill-in driver for Todd Mcrae. He is starting sixth here tonight. John Friley in the 06 machine starting seventh. Stephen Rex, the number 28, starting eighth. Andrew Neri, the number 7, he'll be starting ninth on track. Robert Colgan starting 10th. Michael Vandermeer with Lodo Racing starting 11th. Spencer Breslin with Team Goon Squad will be starting 12th in the number 53 machine. Then we cycle it back to Cole Patrick at the number 116. He's starting 13th. Radburn Shutters, number 42, starting 14th. Tyler Evans, the weapon, starting 15th. You've got Brett Edgar in the number 98, starting 16th. Mark Proctor in the number 36 machine, starting 17th. Ryan Perkins, the number 6 machine, the team captain for Perkins Motorsports. He's starting 18th. Then we've got Matt Baer, the number 19. He's starting 19th tonight. And we've got Cage Song, a late entry in the 119, a very last-second fill-in driver for Team Goon Squad. Will be starting at the back of the pack today to round out our 20-driver field. As we are getting ready to get everybody racked up. It's going to be an exciting race again. The first time we've raced on dirt so far this season. As always, again, thank you to our viewers that tune in. We see Patrick Sullivan join in, cheering on all of his friends with Devil Core Racing. Now, a few drivers brought in a couple of ringers here today to try and best all their friends at the opening dirt round. Again, one of one dirt rounds, as something has happened here. As iRacing appears that it is locked up. So bear with us. We're going to try and get that corrected for you at home. The good news is that we should be able to get back in time to not miss any of the action. As we are trying to get this corrected for all of our viewers at home. It has been one of those nights, ladies and gentlemen, as everything that can break has broken. And we're going to do our best to get back in the broadcast booth. We're going to run it back to our starting soon screen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. And we are back after a little bit of delay there. Thank you all for your patience. I greatly appreciate it. As we're going to get them racked up, all the drivers patiently waiting while we are on commercial break. And the start is Jordan Babinger, Jonathan Bronson out front. As they're going to go diving into turn one side by side. It's going to be very interesting to see what lines start to develop here, as we already have a big crash in the back. It's John Friley, James Silvers. Well, this is not a good start to a race here at all, as we immediately send them sliding around and crashing in style. Let's see where it happens here. You're watching John Friley. I think he got into the back of James Silvers, and Vandermeer sent him sliding around. When everybody else bobbing around, Ryan Perkins also gets involved. Now, one of the saving graces for these drivers is that there is a lot of damage these dirt street stocks can take, and you can kind of get away with. But that will bring out the first caution of the night here for the Bristol round. So hopefully that is not an indicator of what's to come, as these guys are going to have quite the long night. Now again, this is our Pro Series where we've seen a lot of talented drivers really have great success so far this season, and the points chase still really wicking up. So this is the first time we've put these guys out on dirt, which is going to tend to lead for an exciting evening. And we'll try and pull up the points here for a second as we pace our way around. So again, there is both an individual car championship as well as a team championship at the beginning of the season, or really at any point throughout the season. Team owners register their car number, and then points are tied to that car number for the duration of the season, no matter who's driving it. So you can have fill-in drivers, you can swap drivers around your team, whatever you want to do. And that, again, keeps the points glued to those drivers. And then the overall team points is what these guys are really chasing. Right now, we've got over $190 in the team chase points. So all these guys out there racing for beer money every Thursday, and then the big money at the end of the season. We did get word from Race Control that's going to be an EOL assigned to number 21 driver of James Silvers. Now again, back to points. You've got Droppin' Bombs Racing. They're out front with 147 points. Lodo Racing, captained by Jacob Feskinen, has 103 points, and you've got Devil Core Racing in third with 87 points. The remainder of the field is East Action Sports, currently fourth with 61 points. Perkins Motorsports has 19 points, and Hayward Racing has 8 points. So things are still shaking up. But we're going to get ready to re-rack them and send them back out. It's going to be Jordan Babinger, Mason Foster, your front row. As it appears, John Friley, the 06 machine, is in pit lane with some heavy damage. Matt Baer, James Silvers also came through pit lane to see where they're going to have any damage to try and correct. The iRacing official pace truck should be in this time by. And away they go. Are we going to get more than one lap here at Bristol before the caution flies on such a slick track? Babinger starting to make some big moves, as that's going to be Jacob Feskinen. Gets a little bit of a wobble, but able to hold on to it. Surely this will go cleaner than a regular NASCAR NIS race here. As it looks like these guys are kind of getting in a good groove. Out front, though, Jordan Babinger making it look easy. He's got over a second lead on Mason Foster in the number 17 machine. You see right there, Babinger in the bright red number 48 Droppin' Bombs Racing machine. These guys have been putting in a setup work throughout the week. Again, this is an open setup league, so teams will either work together to try and get things dialed in throughout the week to get ready for the upcoming round, while some teams are also sponsored by setup shops, which makes it interesting to see which guys are able to work on it and tweak it to their liking. As Jacob Feskinen trying to move up through the field, he's on the inside of Craig Smith, the fill-in driver for the number 99 machine. And it looks to see that the field's kind of stretched out here, and maybe not risking it too much. The driver's sitting in a groove. We might see some green flag stops, would be extremely impressive, especially here at this dirt race. We've seen pit strategies really decide things as the seasons went on. Gentlemen are able to win it and lose it in the pit lane, but look at this, Jacob Feskinen trying to charge up into that podium spot to get around Mason Foster, as they almost go 3 wide at Bristol Dirt. Quite an accomplishment. It's Feskinen and Foster side by side putting on a show here. Right now, Craig Smith, number 99, he's got a front row seat, and he's going to try and take it 3 wide here. Is that going to work? He gets him with the slide job. Can Feskinen cut back under? He can, and they're once more 3 wide. Feskinen slots in front of Craig Smith, number 99. These guys are putting on an absolute clinic. Feskinen moves up to third, sliding in front of Mason Foster, the number 17 machine. But look at this. Foster's going to return the favor, diving up the inside line. This is the battle for third right now, as they have about a 2-second disadvantage to second place Jonathan Bronson and about 3.5 seconds to first place Babinger. But these guys really putting on a great show. We didn't kind of really know what to expect coming in here tonight, as some of these drivers have little to no dirt experience. But that's what makes it a Pro Series. Drivers kind of having to go out of their comfort zone to try something new. We've got 1 dirt round on the season, and then we've also got 1 road course, as the battle for third is putting on a great show here today. It's Feskinen, Smith, Foster, all battling hard. Up front, it's Jordan Babinger out front with Jonathan Bronson second. As they are 3 wide, you're on board with Steve Rex, number 28 machine. Shows you just how dusty and slick the conditions are out here today, as these 3 drivers can't get away from each other. Everybody running almost identical pace. Very impressed with the racing we're seeing here today, as now it's Craig Smith, number 99, is going to lead this 3-pack of drivers. Feskinen right to the inside of Mason Foster's number 17 machine. We're going to cycle a little bit further back in the field. We're checking out Mark Proctor and the number 36 with Perkins Motorsports. He's our current hard charger. He's up 7 positions so far, as he gets into the back of Brett Edgar's number 98 machine. No harm, no foul. This is dirt racing at its finest. A little bit of rubbing is fine, but you want to be very mindful not to dump any of your opponents by accident. If you find yourself causing a caution and bringing out the yellow flag, you will be awarded with an EOL for the restart. We've clicked off 20 laps so far. The battle for third really hasn't slowed down any. Smith currently leading Feskinen by just barely, as they're going to go side by side once more. Mason Foster, number 17 machine, he also wants in the mix. Everybody's out there trying to score the maximum amount of points for both their individual car numbers as well as their team. You're on the rear bumper of Jordan Babinger, just to the back right. That's Jonathan Bronson, number 1 machine, about 3 seconds back as Babinger's clicking out. But we are going to have another caution come out. It's going to be Ryan Perkins, the number 6 machine. Almost gets in the race leader Babinger there. So we're going to see what happened to Perkins with Perkins Motorsports to maybe cause that incident, as his car's looking a little bit worse for wear here today. Oh, Ooh, no, that wasn't Perkins' fault. I don't think. That was the number 15 of Tyler Evans who went for a wild ride. We're going to watch that one once more. So we're watching Tyler Evans, number 15 machine. Let's see what causes him to get spun around. A little bit of contact from the 116. That's going to be Cole Patrick in the 116 that sends Evans for a while, and then Perkins gets involved with nowhere to go. It'll be interesting to see how race control calls that one. A lot of the field coming into pit lane. Babinger, Bronson, Smith, Song, Neri, Proctor, Bear, all coming into pit lane. John Friley still in pit lane in the 06 machine. Not sure if we're going to see him come back out and try and salvage some points. Race control is still sorting everything out to see where people are going to be slotted up on this. It looks like it's still going to be 17 drivers on the lead lap as Spencer Breslin, Cole Patrick, and John Friley are going to be several laps down here. So that's going to put Jacob Feskinen, the team owner of Lodo Racing, up in front in the number 926, valuing the track position a little bit more than splashing off fuel here. I've got to say, I mean, yes, it's our second caution, but the racing's been extremely good, especially for that battle for third. Those guys putting on an absolute great show here today at Bristol. As we're going to get ready to re-rack them and send them back out for the second time here today. If you're watching along from across the world, let us know where you're from and who you're cheering on. We couldn't put on these shows without you guys at home, and you are ever so greatly appreciated. As the pace truck will be in this time by, it's going to be Feskin and Foster on the front row, and away they go. Feskin, the 926, Foster in the number 17, a Scooby-Dooby-Doo race machine. As this is what's going to get exciting. Cautions breed cautions. You see the field have the check up. That was Shutter's got a little bit sideways, number 42 machine. And then the 48 of Babinger checked up to avoid getting into him. This track is very, very slick here today at Bristol. As, Shutters goes for a bit of a ride, able to hold on to it as Bronson is charging through the field. And what a great showing of very talented racers week in and week out. These guys have been doing a fantastic job and putting on a great show. As look at this mad pack of drivers. Everybody trying to hold on to it in the slippery conditions, doing their best to hold on to it. And this is around the battle for the top 6 is what you're watching on screen right now. James Silver's the number 21 machine. He is, we've got contact right ahead of him. That was Vandermeer and Bronson that got into each other. So right now it's James Silver's number 21 machine. He is in 5th place, but look at all the drivers behind him trying to squeeze their way through. As somebody gets hooked there, I believe that was Edgar in the number 98 machine. As these guys are bumping and grinding. All is fair in short track racing as long as race control doesn't get a good look at it. As Shutters, I think, is going to go for a ride here. The caution needs to come out as the number 42 machine is punted. Caution does not come out. Shutters is going to have to play catch up to try and get back up there. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bronson is currently battling for second place with Mason Foster in the number 17 machine. Bronson, one of those drivers not afraid to use a bumper if need be. So let's see, is Bronson going to be able to catch up to Jacob Feskinen, your race leader? Feskinen, he's about 1.5 seconds ahead right now, but he's got a lot of clean track, and that seems to be the most important thing, is able to get out there and hot lap. As we're going to check out the number 926, he's got just about a quarter of a straightaway. As the caution will come out, it's going to be Steven Rex goes for a ride, I believe. We'll see if we can get eyes on that one. Back that one up, see Rex, the number 28 machine. Yeah, unfortunately just gets into, I'm not quite sure who that was that Rex number 28 tagged there. And we're going to grab one of our first drivers here for an interview. We're going to grab Jacob Feskin in the number 926. Jake, you got your ears on?
I do have my ears on.
Jake, how's it going out there? I know the track is slippery and the driving's been aggressive, but so far you've seemed to value track position above everything else.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting strategy race. I could say the driving has been a lot more aggressive than I expected. We've got some guys out there throwing moves that only at 10% of the way I didn't expect to see, but it should be a good competitive race, and hopefully track conditions play to our setup.
Well, awesome, Jacob. We'll let you get back out there, but we wish you the best of luck, and thank you again for your time, sir.
Thanks. Glad to check in with you.
That was Jacob Feskin, the team captain for Lodo Racing, your current race leader out front and doing a good job. As you heard, he was expecting the racing to be a little bit less aggressive here today, but he can't complain too badly as he is out front, number 926, but that is going to restack the field. We got word from race control that that was going to be a self-spin from the number 42 Radburn Shutters, so that is why the caution did not come out for Shutters. And the 119 of Cage Song will receive the EOL on lap 36. So again, all these drivers have a few different EOLs they can use. If you get one spin that you cause a caution, you receive an EOL. If you cause two cautions, you get a 30-second stop and go that must be served under green flag conditions. And if you find yourself causing a third caution, you will be parked for the rest of the night. No hard feelings. We just got to keep the race pointing in the right direction, as we are not quite to the halfway mark here today with our third caution of the evening. Now it's going to be Feskinen and Bronson out front. Let's see what the drivers can do, as every time we restack the field, it gives more opportunity for possible carnage out on track. It's low-dough racing and dropping bombs racing the front row here today for our third restart of the evening. Pace truck comes in. They make a little bit of contact on the start, but away we go. It's Jonathan Bronson and Jacob Feskin. Looks like Bronson got the better of the launch there. So now it's going to be Bronson, Feskin, and Babinger, your top three. Behind them, you've got Craig Smith, Proctor, Vandermeet, Evans, all in the mix. As every driver's out there trying to find some grippy track to race on, looking for the freshest dirt they possibly can. If you're new to dirt racing, the black kind of worn-in section of racetrack is actually more slick than some of the other conditions you can find yourself in. As these guys are driving very hard out front, but we're going to have another yellow flag. I know Ryan Perkins is involved. Let's see who else may be. We're watching Perkins, the number 6 machine. Let's see what happens here as he absolutely hucks it in. Is it a self-spin or is it something a little bit more? It was, unfortunately, I think, a correction as another driver was coming in fast. And Perkins, he's on me roof. He goes for a wild ride, flipping down the straightaway here. Bristol cars doing their best to avoid the carnage as the number 6, Ryan Perkins, gets flipped onto the pit wall. My, oh my, what an incident out there today. As that was absolutely spectacular. Now he's going to wall ride it like Tony Hawk to get back in the right direction. But Ryan Perkins just not having the night he wanted here. The team captain of Perkins Motorsports, a fresh new paint scheme, but having a rough night here today. We're going to watch that one once more for the fans at home because it was a really good one. You're on board with Ryan Perkins. He slides it in there, realizes maybe a little bit too late that another car's coming up, overcorrects to the right, and he goes for a wild ride as our gyro cam getting its full workout here today, where he will finally once again settle on the pit wall. But my, oh my, that was quite the crash. Probably one of the best ones we've seen here at the Pro Series so far. Now, last week it was Steven Rex bringing it home for the win at Phoenix Raceway, the first two-time winner of the season. So let's see what happens here today as we are, again, the first time we're at a dirt track and the only time we're at a dirt track so far for our opening season. Next week we go to North Wilkesboro Speedway, where it's going to be quite the spectacular evening. Then we've got the Milwaukee Mile, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and then what I'm very excited for, Daytona International Speedway Road Course. We've got Mike Hayward joining in, team captain and owner of Hayward Motorsports, the original founder of On Me Roof. That is our fourth caution of the night, and we are not even halfway yet for our competitors. It's going to be Feskinen and Babinger on the front row, Craig Smith and Proctor on the second row, and then Foster and Neri on the third row. Interesting to see, we've got a few new faces in the top 10 here. As I know, Perkins Motorsports brought in Andrew Neri, who got closer to running the right number tonight. He's getting there day by day, so great to see Neri out here doing a great job, but he is the ringer for Perkins Motorsports today, the self-declared dirt racing god amongst men. So watch Neri in the number 7 machine, currently 7th on track, as we get ready to go out once more. Feskinen and now Craig Smith gets a big run. Babinger kind of got swallowed up there as we've got drivers making contact. Here we go once more. The field's going to get stacked up. Carnage is going to come out as Jordan Babinger, Michael Vandermeet. Oh, there's somebody flipping spectacularly. Who was that? Was that Jordan Babinger or was it Matt Baer? No, it was Mark Proctor. So watch Proctor in the number 36 machine here. Let's see where it gets initiated. Number 48 gets into the back left of Silvers. Silvers has nowhere to go. That's going to stack the field. Proctor swerves to avoid it. He's going to get absolutely obliterated by the number 16 machine, I believe it is, as everyone bumps into everybody. The number 53, Spencer Breslin, launches Mark Proctor like he owes him lunch money, and then Proctor is going to go flipping, careening through the air, and that will be the second Perkins Motorsports driver that's on me roof so far for the race. Man, what a night here today, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to try and get one more look at it, as that was the crash that just kept on giving. So again, we're focused. Look at James Silvers, number 21 machine. He drifts up the racetrack. He gets bumped by the 48 of Babinger and really just had nowhere to go, kind of gets stuck there. Silvers gets punted down the racetrack as everyone else behind him just getting destroyed. As, man, look again, you got to appreciate the air time that Proctor just got out of that number 36 machine. He went absolutely careening, absolutely just obliterated there. As now it's going to be Craig Smith, who pitted on lap 23. He's going to be your new race leader. Mason Foster second, Brett Edgar third. Cage Song has worked his way up to fourth. Spencer Breslin fifth, Jordan Babinger in sixth, but Babinger is going to come into pit lane late here. So we're getting word that number 48, Jordan Babinger, will receive the EOL for that one. So again, that's two Perkins Motorsports drivers not having the night they wanted. They had the most amount of cars in the top 10 they've had all season long. And as soon as the team owner even thought of that, their night was done. As again, Perkins, the team owner, Proctor, one of the golden boys for the team. Away we go. Greg Smith, Mason Foster, your front row there. Now, every time we stack this field up, things get more and more exciting. Smith running the high line, the number 99 machine. Foster trying to run the inside line. Again, both drivers trying to avoid that big old slick area, but look how slick it is pretty much from top to bottom here. Not a lot of real estate to try and find a fast line, as the drivers that have set up for slick conditions seems to be at the at an advantage here, I would say, as we're still side by side up front. And what some great two-wide racing out front. As Smith doing his best to keep that high line working, Foster running the low line. But look at this, here comes Bronson, the number 1 machine, trying to work his way up. It's about to be a 4-car battle for the lead. It is Smith, Foster, Bronson, Edgar, all in the mix here. As Smith, again, he's a fill-in driver for Dropping Bombs Racing, not the normal pilot of number 99. Normally it's Todd Mcrae, the team owner, you can find in the number 99 each and every week. So got a new face out there today, doing a great job, running very strong. as Mason Foster has his hands full with Jonathan Bronson, number 1 driver, coming fast and strong, doing his best. And look at this, it's a 4-car battle. Everybody doing a great job out front. Smith, Foster, Bronson, Edgar, all out in the mix. Trying to score some points for some different teams. All these drivers have pitted it at least once. It's going to be curious to see what the fuel window is for these drivers. As we see John Friley briefly make his way into pit lane, probably dropping a little bit too far down the racetrack to his liking. The iRacing trackside officials picking it up as an early pit and then realizing the mistake. Craig Smith seems dedicated to that high line. Bronson's been running the low line all night, but now it is Foster and Bronson battling for second, as Foster has moved to the high line following Craig Smith, number 99. Bronson still working the low line. And these guys are really putting on a great show here today. Very impressed with the caliber of drivers we're seeing. We got Cameron McHone, I hope I said that right. He's cheering on his friends in Cornerstone Motorsports. Now the Cornerstone guys that normally run All-American ARCA, they are kind of split between teams here. We've got Tyler the Weapon Evans, he's on East Action Sports. You've got Vandermeet and Silvers that are on Lodo Racing. So a few different guys kind of in the mix that you're used to seeing with different series that are out there in different mixes. You're on board with Craig Smith. That was the rear view looking at Mason Foster's Scooby-Dooby-Doo, a number 17 race machine, doing his best to make it happen. But it looks like they're about to come up on lap traffic here, which is where things could get a little bit exciting, as we just implemented a rule that says lap traffic is expected to hold their line or yield the preferred line to the leaders. It is up to the leaders to communicate what they want out of their drivers that are about to go a lap down. As, man, look at the dirt spraying all over the hood of Mason Foster's number 17 machine. We are past the halfway mark, and a great onboard with Craig Smith showing just how slick this track has worked itself out to be. And we've got a caution. It shows James Silver's involved. Who else is it going to be out there? We were just talking about Silvers on the broadcast as well, but let's take a quick look and see where it all went wrong for the number 21 driver. So Silver's running right in the slickest part of the racetrack. Looks like the number 19 machine was getting around him, and then the number 19 comes down and just button hooks him. And unfortunately, that's going to send Silvers hard into the impact wall. All right, we do have a quick interview. We've got Perkins, Ryan Perkins, the owner of Perkins Motorsports, taking a time to come up here. Perkins, we see you in pit lane. Are you going to be able to get that number 6 machine back out on track here today?
Yeah, but the 6 is done. I mean, we're 20 laps down at this point in time. We're just going to be looking to get points, as many points as we can. See what we can do out there. It's a tough break. I had just mentioned how good we were doing, and it all went to crap 5 turns later, so we'll see.
Well, it looked like you guys were running really strong. It looked like some of the highest positions we've seen out of some of the Perkins Motorsports drivers. Do you know, how is your driver Andrew Neri feeling in the car right now?
Andrew's feeling great. He's like a prodigy when it came to dirt. He really surprised me. He's doing really well, holding it down for Perkins Motorsports, and I love to see it.
Well, Perkins, always a great time talking to you. We'll let you get back to your hauler and talk to your teammates, but good luck to the rest of the guys out there.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That was Ryan Perkins with Perkins Motorsports, the team owner of the number 6, the number 7, which is not supposed to be the number 7, as well as the 36. So it looks like he has 2 drivers having a rough go. as we saw two of their drivers take spectacular flips, both Perkins and Proctor taking wild rides. Now, I believe Proctor is back out on track. He is number 36 machine. He's currently 17th on track, trying to salvage some more points for his team. I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, out of what we expected tonight, I really didn't know what was expected for the first time broadcasting a dirt race for the Pro Series. But overall, very impressed with the driving ability of everybody. We've seen a few simple mistakes, but that's dirt racing and street stocks. I mean, you can't really fault anybody too badly out there. As we've got Todd Mcrae, team owner of Droppin' Bombs Racing, join us in the booth. Mcrae, what were you expecting going in tonight, and how's it going versus your expectations?
I think it's going good. I think a little bit of beating and on the cars, just people touching, is actually that's what some of the cautions are coming from. So it's not a lot of bad wrecks out there, which is good. The guys have been driving pretty decent, but the dirt, I think our first race on dirt, it's a good show.
Yeah, no, Mcrae, again, a lot of these guys aren't really dirt experienced. I know you brought in a ringer tonight to pilot the number 99, Craig Smith. Were you just not wanting to race dirt today, or did you have a different plan?
Yeah, I'm just not a dirt guy. I practiced and tried. I just couldn't bring the times to have it competitive. Ooh, looks like I might need a replay on that leader on where he was changing lanes.
Tyler Mcrae coming in to help out with race control as well tonight. Tyler, we're going to let you go so we can get back to watching this action, but thank you for the time to tune in tonight, and we're wishing your team luck out there.
Thank you. Appreciate you putting us on.
Always a pleasure.
Soon.
We're going to have to watch that start back at the request of Mcrae, but I think they're too busy crashing back on field. We'll try and get that here in a second. We're going to take a quick look at that restart and see what happened. Oh, yeah, Mason Foster, number 17 machine. All sorts of the wrong line there. It'll be interesting to see what race control has to say about that one, as that is something that they watch very carefully out on track. Now Jonathan Bronson has taken over the lead in the number 1 machine, just ahead as Mason Foster and Jacob Feskinen are battling hard for second place. And we're going to bring out the caution once more. So let's see who caused that one. I believe it may be Ryan Perkins, but he said he wasn't out on track. So Perkins leaves the track in the number 6 machine. And this is odd. So Perkins may have caused the caution by not carrying speed. It's hard to see here. So a very odd caution. Sometimes iRacing is a little bit optimistic on when they're going to throw a caution. So it's going to bring out kind of an odd caution. Again, now sometimes the iRacing built-in one. It kind of doesn't really do the greatest jobs, but it gets there good enough. And then we have live race control each and every week to try and help smooth things out. But now we've got James Silvers, the SoundCloud Pro, the number 21 machine, joins us in the booth. Silvers, how's it going out there tonight, man?
Man, you can see it, man. We're going sideways, beating and banging. Man, you couldn't ask for a better race, to be honest.
Now, Silvers, is this what you expected coming in tonight, the first and only dirt round, or what was your expectations coming here to Bristol today?
Well, I was expecting it to be chaotic as usual, because most time they are, but this is a 100-plus lap race, so you know how it's going to be. Everybody's going to drive the wheels off of it, try to get it to stick, and it's just going to keep going until we end up getting to the top. But I don't think it's going to get to the top, to be honest, because it looks like we can run any line right now, so we just need to keep improving and try to improve our position.
Well, awesome. Thank you for your time, Silvers. Looking forward to seeing you charging out there and wishing you the best of luck, buddy.
All right, thank you, James.
That was James Silvers and the number 21 machine. Silvers currently 6th on track. He's down 1 spot from where he started here today. But as you heard him, he says he feels pretty comfortable with the track. He's driving out there strong, not having any big issues. Now we did get a report from race control. Both the number 17 and the 06 of Ryan Perkins will get a stop and go. The number 17 for a start violation. The rule book clearly says leader must maintain a reasonable pace, etc., and will avoid sudden throttle. And it also says if driver does not maintain double file on a restart, they will receive a 30-second stop and go penalty to be served under green. Exceptions can be made if somebody's maybe blown up in front of you, somebody misses a shift egregiously, but that was not the case. You can see 2 drivers coming to pit lane this time by as Jonathan Bronson gets a fantastic start in the number 1 machine. He's going to be chased by Brett Edgar, Craig Smith, and Jacob Feskinen that are going to go 3 wide. Man, look at this. Even behind them, they're going 3 wide. Everybody's trying to find a dance partner. And these guys are racing hard out here today. Everybody wants to pick up the first win at the first ever dirt race of the Pro Series. This is the battle for second out on track right now. It's Brett Edgar. He's leading Jacob Feskin and Craig Smith. And Andrew Neri, who's worked his way up into the top 5. As it looks like Bronson has a comfortable lead, almost a second gap over Edgar's number 98 machine. Good to see Brett out here in second. It's one of the possible highest runs he's going to have so far this season, or at least highest one so far, not the highest one he's going to have. That'd be insulting to Brett. Our apologies, buddy. Mason Foster, number 17, has completed his stop and go. Now, the one benefit the 17 has here is we've seen, obviously, a handful of cautions. As another caution comes out, we called it. So, in theory, that should allow Foster to possibly get the lucky dog if he's not involved, as we show Vandermeed and Proctor involved with that one. Ooh, who is that? That was the 116 of, I believe, Patrick. And then Proctor goes for a ride, and Vandermeed gives into him. We're going to back that angle up or watch it from a different angle real quickly. We're watching Proctor, number 36. It's easy to spot. He's the car missing his front bumper. I think that's going to be on Vandermeed there. The number 84 machine just drove it in a little bit too deep. I didn't expect Proctor to maybe find himself perpendicular to the racetrack. That's a tough one to call. Now, the thing with race control, if it is not too clear to decide, they will deem it a racing incident. As look at that, we called it. Foster, number 17 machine, takes his lucky dog. He should be able to get back on the lead lap here. Or at least closer to it. As up next, we've got Proctor in the number 36 machine. He's coming into pit lane and trying to talk to us. Proctor, you got your ears on.
I do. How's it going, James?
I'm doing well, Proctor. We've seen that number 36 get hit. We've seen it flip, but you're still out there trying to make it work. Are you going to be able to continue out on track, or is the car done today?
Yeah, it's been a little rough. Couple after that big crack, got out there, and something's definitely not fully connected, but, I mean, it's still going somewhat straight, so we're going to keep it out there as long as I can.
Well, Proctor, hate to see you with that stroke of bad luck. I know the team's doing pretty well. I mean, how do you feel on this dirt track for the first time in the street stocks?
I felt like Andrew and I had a really good chance. You know, he's a prodigy when it comes to dirt. He's been, you know, just showing off his skills these past week, and it's great that we got him on the team.
Well, Mark, always a pleasure talking to you. We'll let you get back out there because we know we're about to restart, but good luck, my friend.
Thank you, James. Have a good time.
You as well. Now it's Proctor, number 36 driver, coming in very briefly to talk to us. Always great talking to him. He's cheering on his teammate, Andrew Neri, the prodigy. As we're going to get ready to re-rack them, not a whole lot of laps left in tonight's event. It's Bronson and Edgar the front row with Feskinen and Smith the second row. Colgan and Neri the third row. There's a lot of very talented drivers still out on track with 30 laps left to go. And here we go. Feskinen trying to make something work to move his way up into second place. He's got around Edgar's number 98 machine. Here comes Craig Smith, the number 99 as well, trying to put his nose up into the party. Now, part of these guys have to be very, very careful on their lane choice. Ooh, as Feskinen hucks it out sideways, Smith has the check up to avoid getting to the back of the number 926. And that's going to allow the field right behind them to put their way into battle. Up front, it's Bronson, Feskinen, Smith, Edgar, Colgan, your top five. As, oh no, another caution comes out. It is eye-pacing at its best, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to be Vandermeer going for a ride. Let's see what caused that incident. We're watching Vandermeer in the number 84 machine. Not quite sure what's happened here. As he can't get away from Proctor. Proctor hucks it sideways. The field checks up. Vandermeer gets into the back of Foster. And unfortunately, careens. Now, I believe that may be a 30-second stop and go for Vandermeer in the number 84. We'll have to get word from race control on that one. Cautions breed cautions, and Bristol dirt, absolutely no exception. Has been definitely the most cautious race so far of the season by almost tenfold. Most of our cautions or races have only had one or two cautions, with maybe we've had a couple green flag runs, really great runs. So kind of disappointing to see things here today and see the most amount of cautions, but that's what you get when a bunch of drivers that aren't quite used to dirt and a machine that's really not used to running on Bristol out there for the first time. As I believe that's going to be Proctor, the number 36 machine that receives the EOL for that one. Song, the number 119 machine, he's coming into pit lane to take some fuel and get back out there. And it's going to be 25 laps left to go. Should be about 24 for the restart. as this is where you might see a little bit of over-aggression from some of our drivers. Your front row is going to be Bronson and Feskinen, Smith, Edgar, Colgan, and Neri. Makes up our top 6, the top 3 rows. What a race. I've got to say, it's almost entertaining to see these pros out there really having so many cautions for the first time this season. It's definitely been an interesting one that I think the drivers are going to talk about. And I think for the most part, all of our guys have been having a great season so far. Everybody's been having a lot of fun, good camaraderie on and off the track in a zero bad attitude league. As here we go, it's Bronson out front, Feskinen battling with Craig Smith side by side going into turn 1. All these guys being very careful to try and avoid any contact, because if you find yourself with an EOL at this point in the race, you may very well be done, or worse, a 30-second stop and go will pretty much take you out of the race. As again, these cautions, or excuse me, these penalties have to be served under green flag conditions, as look at this absolute gaggle of drivers. Everybody pinballing off of each other. The number 7 gets hit by everybody. And a big crash as Andrew Neri, the prodigy. He's on me roof. Everyone's flipping. Oh my goodness. Cole Patrick, Ryan Perkins all involved. Everybody's upside down and feeling the heat here today, as Perkins has returned to the pit lane after a violent crash. Let's watch that one on our East Action Sports slow-mo, because that was a crash, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to figure out who went on the roof here. I want to say it's Perkins, the number 6 machine, who went for quite the wild ride. That was never going to work as everybody was stacking up in front of him. So that might have been Perkins, the team owner of Perkins Motorsports, and Proctor in the number 6 machine. Or was it possibly, or was it Neri? So we're watching Perkins, who just comes in ARCA braking. He's once again upside down. I believe that's the number 15 as well, who's on his roof. Spencer Breslin lags and comes back absolutely destroyed. So that's 2 East Action sports cars obliterated. And then Perkins once again on his roof in spectacular style. We're going to watch that one once more because I think it's very entertaining. How is Perkins able to flip into pit lane twice today, ladies and gentlemen? So again, you're watching Perkins, number 6 driver. Comes around, finds himself face-to-face with Carnage. And boom goes the dynamite as he, an identical crash, flips his number 6 machine all the way over to pit wall. These drivers are looking like they're on tour modifieds more so than they are on actual street stocks machines. My, oh my, what a race here today. Neri in the number 7 machine, the prodigy, has left the racetrack. He has thrown his gear in the hauler and he is done for the week. It may be a surprise if we see him back under the same team next week because tempers are heated here today. So again, that was also number 116, Cole Patrick. I believe he's a fill-in driver for Hayward Motorsports who is involved with that. Really, there's a lot of people involved in that one. Evans, Breslin, Foster, Neri, Vandermeed, Proctor, Friley. All several laps down here. As we've got 11 drivers still on the lead lap. It's going to be about the top 9 drivers, I believe, possibly top 10 that receive a payout here today as we get ready to re-rack them, possibly for the final time. We're going to try and tighten this field up for the restart. It's going to be 15 laps left to go as they cross the line. My apologies, it's Hayward Racing is the team name. Green flag is out. Bronson gets a great launch. He's followed by Craig Smith in the bright blue number 99. The fill-in driver for Droppin' Bombs Racing, Jacob Feskin, the captain for Lodo Racing. Working his way up into third, but he's accompanied by Jordan Babbitt, number 48 machine. They make contact back here for third. They're able to hold on to it. Well done to all the drivers. They're going to go 3 wide, come out and start finish line. Cole Patrick shows us a crash. No caution as of yet. 14 laps left to go. It is a bloodbath up here in the top. Everyone's trying to find a line and make something happen. It's Bronson, Smith, Feskinen, Babinger, Edgar, all battling hard. Who's going to be able to take it away with 13 laps left to go as Bronson has a second lead over Craig Smith in the number 99. Smith goes high, Feskinen goes low. And where are they going to meet at coming back on the straightaway? Everybody's got to be very careful not to bump into any friends or competition. As Feskinen's going to slide underneath the number 99, Craig Smith. Can he come out in the top groove? He's going to hit him with a slide job, and he's going to make it look nice and clean. But unfortunately, the caution flag will fly once more, as it looks like Matt Bear involved in an incident. So it's going to be Bronson, Feskin, and Smith, I believe, for this restart. You watch number 19, Matt Bear. Let's see what happens for him to be involved in an incident. He's got James Silvers diving it up deep all the way on the bottom of the racetrack. Silvers just got into the back left corner panel and sent Matt Bear careening around. Ooh, look at that two-wheel action, though. Able to hold on to it. Race Control really earning all of the money here today, as it has been quite the race. We're getting closer and closer to overtime conditions here. I believe it is 3 green-white checker attempts here today. That was declared a racing incident from our race control here today. So both drivers just kind of ran out of real estate. So it's going to be interesting to see how this cycles down. Are they going to be able to make it to the end here without caution? I'm very hesitant to think so, as we've seen a lot of aggressive driving, a lot of bumping and shaking around, a lot of 3-wide action. Only an hour into the race, so really not that bad. For a race that in theory should have been a lot shorter than an hour, but we kind of expected a little bit of tragedy here for the opening dirt race. It's Bronson and Feskinen on the front row. Both drivers not afraid to make a little bit of contact. As we're going to get a nice big wide angle shot because nobody wants to miss this one. This is going to be spectacular. Away they go for possibly the final time here today. As we've already got heartbreak towards the back. Steven Rex, he's involved in an incident. Let's see how and why, as we may go single file restart on this one. So we're watching Rex, the number 28 machine, to see what happens here. He just, that's tough to call. He barely gets into Silvers. Number 16 barely gets into him. So that was Rex and Robert Colgan both involved with that one. So I think we're going to put us into green-white checker conditions here today for the Pro Series. Not a lot of time left for these drivers. Out front, it's Bronson, Smith, Feskinen, your top three. Edgar and Babbinger round out our top five. As I believe we only have 10 drivers still on the racetrack able to make their way around. Trying to get all the damage hammered out of their race machines. Now remember, if they make it to white flag conditions before the caution comes out, that will end our race here today. And any subsequent crashes will not bring out the caution. We'll run it down to the end. And that being said, if we see any over-aggressive action on the final laps, you will receive our unofficial results for the evening. Unofficial results meaning sometimes there's post-race penalties, and then drivers can receive a post-race EOL if the infraction is warranted. So it is looking like it's going to be a single file restart here. Or is it? It's kind of hard to tell with our drivers. As no, it's going to be double file for possibly the final time here today. Bristol, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet as we're about to go green flag racing for possibly the final time here today. Are we going to get to the end, or are we going to see more carnage? I'm betting on carnage as Bronson gets a great launch. Craig Smith trying to catch him with the number 99 machine. Feskinen in third. Right behind them, you've got Edgar and Babbinger going side by side. But look for the battle for second. Feskinen's worked his way into second on the inside of Craig Smith's number 99 machine. The white flag will fly this time at Bristol. It is all for the marbles. Here we go. It's the battle for third now between Smith and Edgar, both putting on a show. Stephen Rex involved in an incident. The caution will not come out as we are here till the end. Feskinen with a late run charge, trying to dive up the inside of Bronson. He's not going to have the run here, coming out of 4. The checkered flag flies. And what a great race. It's going to be Bronson, Feskinen, Edgar, our top 3 here today, as the fireworks will fly. And man, what a great race from all of our competitors. That was shockingly good for our first race at a dirt oval. Bronson's going to burn it down in style in the number 1 machine. This is the second race that Bronson has won this season. He also won at Iowa Speedway. So good to see the young driver number 1 out there having a great time with all of his friends and putting on a show for everybody here today. Well done to all of our competitors. We're going to try and get our drivers up into the booth for the post-race interview. But again, well done to Bronson and the number 1 machine. Put on a great show out there today. As man, some of these drivers have some destroyed race car. All right, up first, we're going to have Brett Edgar, the number 98 driver. Brett putting on the podium. I know that was a bit of a rough night for everybody, but you seemed to make it look nice and easy, and looks like you had a fairly good race overall.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. Got crazy there at the end with the amount of cautions, but I figured out how to keep that car nice and steady on the bottom.
Now, Brett, what was your expectations going into tonight? Were you expecting to be such a rough race, or what was in your head going into tonight?
I figured that there wasn't going to be as many dirt racers out there, so I kind of expected to be how it was.
Now, Brett, again, we talked about the track conditions as well. Were you pretty happy getting around this slick racetrack at Bristol, or how did it feel for you out there in the number 98 machine?
Yeah, it felt pretty good for how slick it was. It wasn't too bad.
Well, awesome job as always, man. Brett, before I let you sign off, I know you represented Delvacore well here today, but who would you like to give a shout-out to that may be supporting you and or the team behind the scenes?
Yeah, a shout out to my boy Robert filling in for Pat in the 16 car, my boy Matt in the 19, and big old John in 06.
Well, always a great time. Love cheering you guys on each and every week, and hoping to see more great things from your team in the future, Brett.
Thank you.
That was Brett Edgar bringing home third. Up next, we've got Jacob Feskinen, the number 926 driver, able to pull off a pretty dominant podium there at the end. I mean, how are you feeling after that race there, Jacob?
Definitely feeling like I beat out a bit on speed. Wish I would have had long green flag run to close it out. I think we might have had something for the 1 if we could have gotten it, but it was definitely a hard-fought battle. Aggression all the way through the race, so tough at times to deal with that, but makes you feel better when you can defend it off cleanly or as best as you can. So,
well, you guys did great out there. Did you have big expectations coming into the only dirt race of the season, or what were you thinking here at Bristol?
to be 100% honest, I was just hoping that it was going to be remotely close and wanted to try to keep it on the lead lap and see if we could play some strategy with the cautions. Not a big dirt person. Love doing it. Just haven't had a big experience in it, and was trying to do the best that I could with the limited knowledge I had for the week. So made the most of it. Really feel like this was, almost a win. Just almost wanted to get to that one there at the end. We could have had a good battle, I think.
Well, Jacob, great job. Again, thankfully, I think for everybody, this is the only dirt round on the season for Season 1. How are you feeling at the other oddball when we go to Daytona for the road course later this season?
I'm really looking forward to it. I will say I think I'm more nervous for the carnage that may come out of that compared to this. I think everybody's got a better shot at getting this clean than they do that. But I think that's going to be a great time, and maybe I can channel my inner Chase Elliott and try to pull off a domination.
Well, Jacob, always a great talking to you, man. Before I let you sign off for the evening, who would you like to give a shout-out to that may be supporting you behind the scenes?
So, as always, got to give a massive shout out to the rest of my Lodo Racing crew. James, Mike, Radburn, they all do a great job supporting me with setups and a lot of work. We do a ton of practices during the week. Helps out big time. Biggest shout out for sure. Got to give a ton out to my wife. She has had so much patience with me working hard on this for the last couple of weeks and really stepped up big time this week. Got me a ton of information. And really, if it wasn't for her, I would not have been running this well today at all.
Awesome, Jacob. Always a great time, man. Hope to see you up here again in the future, man.
All right. Thanks. Great talking to you, James.
Up next, we've got Jonathan Bronson in the number 1 machine, the second win of the season. Jonathan, you got to be pumped right now, buddy.
Oh, man, I'm pretty excited. Second win in 5 races. We had pretty good speed tonight.
Yeah,
Kinda
seems like we've seen a lot of the usual suspects up there in the top 5. I mean, are you normally a dirt racer, or are you just kind of coming out here for one of the first times and doing a great job right off the rip?
I don't really race dirt that much, but there's sometimes that I race it, and when I do race it, I find myself running pretty good. But I'm more of an asphalt guy, but we definitely did pretty good tonight on the dirt.
Well, Jonathan, great job as always, man. I mean, I know you guys are primarily an asphalt team. We saw the team owner sub in a driver as well, but we left you out there to score some more points for the number 1 machine. Was that kind of the plan here today, or were you expecting to be up front all night, or was it just a happy little incident, as Bob Ross likes to say?
Well, me running up front, I kind of expected it, but me winning was definitely not on purpose. I didn't have winning speed. Everything just kind of fell into my hands. Just Jordan mainly, I would say, had winning speed. He was definitely quicker than me. There was a few guys I can name off that were 100% faster than me, but I had the track position, the timing, the restarts, everything just kind of fell through.
Well, Jonathan, great job as always, man. Always a good time seeing you up here in the booth, and hope to see that dominant performance more in the future. Before I let you sign off, who would you like to give thanks to tonight for helping you make such big moves throughout the field?
Definitely a huge shout out to all of DBR, the guys that helped me with the setup, strategy, everything, just knowing what's going on. Just a big shout out to them. They helped me a lot. The Goon squad for putting on this event, all they do with the broadcasts, and all the other drivers, and especially Race Control for putting up with all the cautions tonight.
Well spoken as always, Jonathan. Thank you as always for putting on a good show, and again, hope to see you up here throughout the rest of the season, my friend.
Thank you.
And that, my friends, is going to do it here for the Bristol Dirt Round, Round 5 of the Pro Street Stock Series. Bronson able to pick up his second win of the season, extend that lead for Droppin' Bombs Racing. But Feskinen with Lodo Racing did a great job himself, propelling his team up on the podium, as well as Edgar putting a Devil Core Racing car on the podium as well this season. As always, on behalf of TeamGoonSquad.com, the broadcasting channel, Race Control, and again, thank you to all of our drivers. I'm James East, wishing you a happy and safe evening, and we'll see you same time, same place next week as we go to North Wilkesboro Speedway. Have a great night, everyone.